Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan D. Well, the Habs have been here before, down 3-1 to a superior team in the playoffs in 2021. They were down like this to the Leafs. They end up putting egg on my face as I say it's over. The Leafs got it. I make no predictions for this series, even though people in the comments still think I do. We are watching some really good hockey. The Bell Center is rocking. Montreal is rocking. They feel they have a chance because, well, they've done this like the entire playoffs. But Tampa Bay is a darn good team. So stick around with us till the end of the video. We're going to talk about the reasons the Montreal Canadiens ended up winning this game. We're going to break down the goals. You're going to get the coach's lesson. There's so much to talk about. This was super exciting to watch, regardless of which fan you are. Tampa Bay fans, let me know down below in the comments how confident you are that this is done in 5, baby. I want to hear all the comments about we lost on purpose. We just wanted to win it at home. I welcome them all. Let's roll the intro, Habs fans. Let's roll the intro, Lightning fans. Start the debate below. Coach Ryan D's got your lesson for today.
Here's Lemieux. The center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux.
Good defense creates good offense. This is one of the first times Montreal gets badly outshot by Tampa Bay, but ends up winning. In game 2, we all remember Montreal outplayed the heck out of Tampa Bay and ended up losing. Sometimes when you retreat back to your defensive systems, you are able to generate more offense. And because Montreal gets the first goal today, they get that swagger back and they are able to retreat back to their systems, link above, that we talked about that have brought them so much success. The salvo by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first 10 minutes of this game, out shooting the Habs 11-1, not scoring on those salvos. That play, like it was a tornado of Tampa Bay Lightning. It was just turnover city for the Montreal Canadiens, including Carey Price making his own turnover, but they survive it because playoff Price is back. And if you don't think playoff Price ever left, go check out his GSAX, which is the advanced analytics telling you how many saves Carey Price has made above the average, and it's not very good. Andrei Vasilevskiy is fantastic. He has faced more difficult shots than Carey Price, according to advanced stats. He's faced more difficult shots than Carey Price, according to my trained eye. So, tough. Both stats and my eye is saying that Vasilevskiy has been vastly superior this entire series, except today. Playoff Price shows up, gives the Montreal Canadiens the needed boost so they can get the first goal in this game and turn it around. The other big factor for the Montreal Canadiens was their penalty kill stood on its head. We are going to break down the difference between the Montreal Canadiens penalty kill, the Tampa Bay Lightning penalty kill. You're going to see some stark differences between both. Both are effective, but the Habs have a really unique one that I haven't seen before. Well, I mean, I've seen it all playoffs, but I haven't seen it before these playoffs. And then finally, the biggest factor to this game is the coach. Dominic Ducharme changes his entire lineup. Jake Evans is in. KK Kotkaniemi is out. Romanov is in. Brett Kulak is in. Everybody gets points that he puts in and he shuffles his lines. Tyler Toffoli goes to the top line. Well, Josh Anderson adds some much needed grit to the second line. Jake Evans comes in KK's spot on the third line and Arturi Letkinen moves down to the third line. Looks like it worked out well for the coach. And as a coach, let me tell you, sometimes you just got to make a change. As a Jets fan though, when we watch Paul Maurice coach and make zero change and then just lose to a sweep, trust me, you don't feel very good about that. So at least the interim head coach, Dominic Ducharme, is willing to try something. You got to be willing to try something when your back's against the wall. Ducharme does. It pays off massively. Let's go ahead. Let's break down some of those clips because there is a lot to get to. Tampa Bay fans, this video, a lot of talk about Montreal. Tampa Bay played a very good game, but Montreal, this was just something special for them because, well, there was a lot of chances where they could have lost this game, but who knows? And for those of you who thought I've made predictions in the series, I haven't. Frankly, I bet against Montreal in the first 3 series. I said Leafs, I said Jets, I said Knights. Loss. Can't bet against them anymore, but I didn't bet for them. All right, let's check out the clips. All right, so let's start with the Montreal Canadiens turnovers first. Their defensemen were shaky. Captain Shea Weber behind the net here picks up the puck. It's on his stick below. All he's got to do is make a nice little soft angle dump out to here or continue taking space. You take space and keep skating. That's what taking space means until you get pinched off here by the Lightning. Then you move it around. But he doesn't do that. Shea Weber ends up taking that space and reversing it behind him. When have we seen a reverse turn into a goal? goal before. Yeah, we've seen it before. Reverses behind him, and it ends up causing a chance for Tampa Bay. I cannot believe Tampa Bay didn't score on this one. So you can see here, he makes that reverse. It ends up behind to Tampa Bay. Then you have 3 players with their skates up ice, and their skates are up ice because we talked about it in their system. They leave the zone early. So now we end up in a little bit of difficulty. So you're going to see our defenseman over here pinch around to pick him up. And when he pinches around to pick him up, Shea Weber right here ends up in a panic. And instead of looking for his man, what he should do is be cutting back to the front of the net in the direction my pink arrow shows, but he doesn't. He ends up chasing the puck behind the net, and that leaves Tampa Bay open for a prime scoring chance. And there it is, the evidence. You can see Weber has chased. We hold our spot. Puck ends up coming out. Good thing Carey Price is able to make a post-to-post save and find the puck. And that is a very difficult save for Carey Price to make, because when you lose the puck behind the net on consistent angle changes going left to right behind you like that on reverses, it is difficult to track the puck and be able to make those post-to-post kick pushes. So unbelievable job by Price. Big save. Okay, so chance and turnover number 2 comes from Carey Price playing the puck behind the net. Plays it right back to Tampa Bay down here. And then here is the problem. Shea Weber, we got to pick on you again. Norris Trophy winning captain, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. You got to get it together. Shea Weber ends up taking this big, long skate around. You're not supposed to do that as a defenseman. You're supposed to stop and then cut back to the back of the net. When you take this big, long, lazy loop, you end up in trouble. And his partner, same thing. Big, long, lazy loop. And what does that big, long, lazy loop do? It opens up the middle here. And once that middle's open up, we can see that puck here. It is traveling to a wide open man. I mean, you have 4 Montreal Canadiens, but look at the position of this loop. 2 guys are just 2 defensemen. I mean, you need the front of the net D. There's no excuse. 1 defenseman in front of the net at all times. You can't take these big long loops. Okay, so shot number 11. Puck moves over from Steven Stamkos. You can see Cole Caulfield here is making a good back check. He's in the middle of the ice, which is exactly what he's want to do, but he doesn't shoulder check. He's not looking to find out where the high man is coming. And because of that, a fantastic shot ends up happening in the slot, and Carey Price has to bail him out for a 3rd time in this 11-shot salvo. So puck ends up kicking off of Carey Price out into the mid slot here. And again, you can see Cole Caulfield is just staring down that puck. He isn't shoulder checking. You got to be shoulder checking here, looking for that 3rd man. You know the 3rd man is coming. Now at this point, 11-1, it's 0-0. And if Tampa Bay is able to capitalize on any 1 or 2 of those 3 unbelievable scoring chances, I think the game's over and we're seeing a cup tonight. But Carey Price, even though he caused the 2nd turnover, bails out the Montreal Canadiens. And Shea Weber, whew, tough game from Shea Weber and Jeff Petrie today. Habs fans, you're not going to like to hear that because you won. You won only good news today, but yeah, they didn't play too good tonight. However, Brett Kulak, though, really, really nice job on the first goal. So let's go check out the Brett Kulak to Nick Suzuki to Josh Anderson goal. All right, so unfortunately, the puck hops over Cooley's stick and he ends up having to chase it back. Puck's right here. Cooley's just going to pick up the puck and chip it down the back wall. This is a good play, and you can actually see as Kulak moves up the ice that he actually does shoulder check both ways to make sure there isn't a Lightning player right here that's going to end up picking it up and moving. He knows he has a man on them, so the chip is fine, but he's looking for that 2nd Lightning player. It's a big brain play to be able to turn around and do this. So Nick Suzuki ends up picking up the puck, and then we take a look here. The Tampa Bay Lightning are making a line change, and after a line change, it becomes very confusing as to what your position is for the first 1 to 2 seconds within the D zone, even at the pros. Someone in a comment said they're pros, they should know where they're going. Yeah, they should, but it's a very quick game, and Josh Anderson and Nick Suzuki are able to exploit that line change with quick transition speed. Remember, transition speed means it was going one direction towards Carey Price, and it immediately turns the other direction towards Andre Vasilevsky, and they score on the rush. This is a transition goal. So a few frames before this, Suzuki and Caulfield do a little bit of a give and go a little bit higher on your screen, and then we are just picking on Cole Caulfield for not being defensively responsible, but he knows right away after that give and go to drive the mid lane like we talk about, because it ends up pushing back 1, 2, and 3 Tampa Bay Lightning defenders. Now, laying down, I don't know if I really ever like this play. This is a Hail Mary play. It goes 50-50 for me. It's good, it's bad. It depends where you're looking at it. On this one, it's bad because he lays down way too soon. Yes, he is taking that passing lane away from Cole Caulfield, but as we know, Nick Suzuki's just going to dipsy doodle around here and end up finding Josh Anderson late. The puck moves from below the goal line to Josh Anderson right in the hash marks. This is the biggest green chance I have ever seen seen in my life. Not only is it going from below the goal line to the top of the circle, making it a green chance because it's a nasty angle change for a goalie, it's crossing the Royal Road, which is that line down the center of the ice, which is a nasty change for a goalie. And then it is a shot from the slot, which is automatically a green chance because it's from between the hash marks. And Vasilevsky's like the GOAT right now, but you can't expect him to save one of those. Really nice goal by Montreal. And in the offensive zone, remember what I talked about in my last video, offensive zone creativity is all about the players. So when I'm showing you Montreal move through the offensive zone, these are plays that are made up basically ad hoc with some skill thrown in by the coach saying, you know, maybe try this, maybe try this. But these players are getting creative right now because players own the red line to the opposing goalie. That's their zone. We call the offensive zone the fun zone because you get to get creative there. The defensive zone is the work zone, and Tampa Bay just gets outworked on that one. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the two contrasting penalty kill styles by both the Habs and the Lightning. We're going to start with the Habs first. So what we have here is the Tampa Bay Lightning in a typical 1-3-1-1. There's your 3-3-3, and your 1 is up here off the screen. So your 1-3-1 power play setup. This is normal. This is standard in the NHL. It's nothing that the Lightning do special. Yes, they have a very special power play because they're good, but this isn't a special setup. The Montreal Canadiens, however, though, have a very unique setup. So you can see they run this almost straight line across the bottom. It's not always perfectly straight. It's players, but there is very little angle to their line, and they step up their 3 here. This is a 1-3 penalty kill. I haven't seen this before the playoffs. This is a very unique kill, and it has brought a lot of success to Montreal. And what it ends up doing is it really forces the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have the 4 down low, to be evenly matched down low, and it makes you take those big shots from the point, which they believe Carey Price has a good chance of saving. Shots on a 5-on-4 power play from the top, where the pink circle is here, just behind my big talking head, they are dangerous shots. So giving up this it's a very auspicious way to kill a penalty, but it has been working because Carey Price seems to be able to do excellent with shots from the point that way. So it is a unique penalty kill situation to the Montreal Canadiens. This doesn't normally happen in the NHL. And then what you can see here on a 1-3-1 for Tampa Bay is that normally on a 1-3-1, you have a few outlets. So your main guy down here who controls the puck ends up moving it over to Kucherov. And what you're looking to do on a 5-on-4 with a 1-3-1 is create cross ice passes. But you can see this Montreal kill takes away those cross ice passes. The only option Kucherov has is to step in here and shoot or to throw it back to the point. So that's exactly what Kucherov does. He throws it back to the point, and we can see here for Montreal, their 4 guys are still quite low, and they're still in what's called, you know, a reverse umbrella. So if you kind of drew this out, it looks like a small umbrella. And that umbrella gives away a lot of distance here on the top and creates a lot of screens for Carey Price. Actually, you can see his head is poking around his own defenseman trying to find the puck here. And then what ends up happening on the next few frames is that Hedman ends up moving it back over to Kucherov because Montreal gets caught too much on one side. But because they have the 3 down low, their players are able to get within the shooting lane rather quick. And Carey Price is so freaking elite. He's able to cover all of that ground. This is a risky setup to use when playing, but it works. So now on to the Tampa Bay penalty kill. You're going to see more of a traditional NHL penalty kill here. And the Tampa Bay Lightning, from everything that I can see, run traditional NHL systems. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it works when you have this kind of talent. It's like saying, come at me, bro, try to beat me. You know what we're doing, but I don't think you can beat me regardless. That's kind of how Tampa Bay plays hockey, and they should. All right, so here you go. Tampa Bay is running a more traditional box diamond hybrid. The old school box used to mean you would go ahead and cover up half the ice like this with 1, 2, 3, 4, and the box doesn't exist anymore. Any of you dads coaching hockey right now yelling at your kids on the ice to box up, that's not a thing. It's dead. We end up seeing a little bit more of a collapse style. So you can see you're just running 1, 1, 2, 2. So a 1, 2 normal overload penalty kill. So you're trying to box the puck into the zone here, and you're trying to take away those cross ice passes. And also you are trying to prevent the puck somewhat from going to the point because you can see how much more room Tampa Bay has spread out here than Montreal. And then here's what's unique about the Montreal power play. The Montreal power play runs an old power play formation known as the umbrella. The 1-3-1 was a version of the umbrella where you had a player right in the middle of the ice. The umbrella, though, sees 2 high players, 2 wide players, and 1 below the net or down low. It's still very effective in today's NHL, and actually it can throw teams like Tampa Bay through a loop. I don't know if it really through Tampa Bay through a loop today, but it's just unique to see. I'll draw it out for you. You can see here, Montreal is running an umbrella. So you have one, and you have your second line of attack. So 3 down low, and then you end up with 2 players up near the top. And it actually looks somewhat like a little bit of an umbrella. So that is where the name comes from. There is no player in the middle of the ice here for Montreal. It doesn't exist. So they're not running a 1-3-1 on this one. Now, what you'll see, the reason they're running this umbrella is because it's going to widen the zone. So it takes away the overload opportunity from the 2-2 that Tampa Bay is running. And you'll watch Montreal walk the puck around to the net as Josh Anderson sneaks down low and he's able to get a shot, because the Tampa Bay Lightning penalty kill can't defend this type of system in the formation they have chosen. So there you go. That wide zone ends up happening, and you can see because the puck was behind the net, you end up getting tight and down low because you can't give up that quick bad angle shot here, and it ends up walking out to Anderson, who doesn't score but has a great opportunity to score. And then finally on the Tampa Bay penalty kill, you can see as soon as the puck ends up top, you have one man pressuring. You have one man down here in the hash marks. He's going to end up pushing through because he's got to technically cover 2 players. I mean, at some point, someone has to cover 2 players. So he has to be up there making that decision to get in that shooting lane. This is just a much more traditional penalty kill setup. So there you go. There's some power play and penalty kill setup differences. And the big keys to remember with both the power play and the penalty kill, this is a coach's area. So yes, the players make it all happen, but these are practiced to the nth degree. And because of the degree they're practiced to, structured and formed, it really does depend on the type of strategy a coach wants to deploy when creating his special teams. There's actually coaches in the NHL that are strictly dedicated to special teams. Sometimes you have 2 coaches, one for power play, one for penalty kill, and then a head coach who will finalize them. These are very meticulously thought out, drawn, and videoed. So one more time, let's go ahead and take a look at that Montreal shift on the Tampa Bay power play. There we go. We have our straight line across the bottom, our 1-3. And this is the challenge with the 1-3. Puck's right here. It is moving across from Hedman to Kucherov. There's no one here to cover the distance. So Carey Price has to track this puck, see it, stop it, or you have to hope the cluster of players in front end up blocking it. It is really risky allowing talented players like this to shoot, but hey, it's brought Montreal to the dance. And now that we see the puck has moved over here, you can see here, these 2 players, they're unsure of who's going to push up and take that puck because somebody needs to push up, but there's a little bit of hesitation here. One needs to push up and form a standard box formation here in order to take the shot away. But look what happens as soon as he hesitates to push up there, Kucherov ends up pushing it down low, and a little jam opportunity is here, as well as you have Braden Point in the slot who is going to be looking for a rebound. And there's no way that Shea Weber here can cover both players. So he has to play puck first because that's just what you have to do. If that puck sneaks out to Point, well, it could be in the back of your net. Lo and behold, it did sneak out to Point. Price makes a really nice shot. The puck ends up coming back out to Kucherov, and now you're caught again with your line of 3 here down low. And from Kucherov, you bump it over to Victor Hedman. And again, because you only have your one man here, he has to take this full skate. There's no way he gets into the shooting lane. You end up with your line down below. It's nothing but screens. Hedman hits the post. He hits the post. It is a little bit of luck here. So there you have it for all the Habs fans that were asking me to break down the penalty kill. That is what they're doing. They are giving up shots at the top to make sure they have even men down below to win the second and third chances. The strategy is pretty simple. We think Carey Price can stop the first one. We don't want to let a second or a third chance happen or a backdoor play happen. So that is why they're running the system and the most effective penalty kill in the playoffs. So who are we to argue with it? Little bit of luck tonight because Hedman ends up hitting a post. Point could have put that in. There are just so many deadly shooters on Tampa Bay. So when you look at this game, Lightning fans, did the Habs beat you? Yeah, but you had a lot of opportunities to win the game. You can't win them all. So game 5, still looking kind of strong for Tampa Bay. But hey, Habs, they've been here before. Okay, so next, let's pick on Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie had a terrible game. I'm going to say it right now on the rim. Like, it was just so bad. And he has had a terrible, terrible Stanley Cup final. This man has made some of the worst decisions I have seen from an elite defenseman who is in the Norris Trophy conversation. Jeff Petrie has returned to Jeff Petrie of 2-3 years ago, where it's like, yay, a free agent like Jeff Petrie's around. Let's sign him for depth or whatever. Jeff Petrie exploded onto the scene this year for Montreal, but he's just making bonehead decisions with the puck. puck, and he has no idea how to tie up men in the D zone. Like, there is just not enough bad things that I can say about Jeff Petry. And Jeff Petry ends up causing the first goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's break it down. All right, so as we all know, Petry's got the puck behind the net. He's going to step out, try to make a breakout pass, but he stares down his player, and it allows the Tampa Bay defenseman to make an easy pinch. So Petry was staring up ice. Puck is right here. He was just looking his man down who was curling up. And this is a brutal angle for any player to take a puck. He has to turn his head completely around his body. It could be an absolute suicide pass where the Tampa Bay defenseman can blow him up, but he doesn't. The Tampa Bay defenseman sneaks in off screen and makes a beautiful poke check. So you can see that poke check happens right here. Puck will end up bouncing out to the far wall, and that turnover, and Jeff Petry staring him down ends up taking it away. So what should Jeff Petry have done? He should have just skated the puck out of the zone. He has nothing but daylight. You don't need to force this up to your winger. I know the puck moves faster than man, but you carry the puck, young defenseman, you carry the puck until you are pressured. If you are not pressured, you continue carrying that puck and take space till they take space away from you. So off that Petry turnover, we know we had Montreal Canadiens forwards who are already leaving the zone. Coleman ends up picking up the puck, just throwing a puck on net, which is exactly what you should do after a turnover. Catch them while they're sleeping. And then after that puck goes in on the net, look at Jeff Petry not tie up his man again. You just can't do more wrong things on a shift. There's Petry's stick. Go ahead, cross-check him on the back. You need to get your stick underneath and stick lift him, but nothing. And nobody is picking up Goodrow in the slot. Again, take 2 strides. He's gliding. Gliding. 2 strides, lift a stick. Tampa Bay does this all the time in their own zone, and it's why they are who they are. 2 or 3 strides, lifting a stick, and dedication to defense wins games. So beautiful goal, beautiful turnover by Tampa Bay, just simply outplaying the Habs in their own zone, and atrocious D zone by the Habs on that shift, especially Jeff Petry. So the Romanov from Evans goal, 2 guys brand new into the lineup for this game in this series. Andre Vasilevskiy pulls the best Carey Price impersonation he can. Hey, if Price can turn over a puck, so can I. And the 2-1-2 forecheck of the Montreal Canadiens, not a 1-2-2, ends up turning this puck over. Evans feeds it back to Romanov, and Romanov scores. So here we go. Vasilevskiy playing that puck. Evans is going to do a beautiful job sealing the boards here. Vasilevskiy either has to play this high off the glass, or he can actually hold the puck behind the net, because Evans is likely not going to pressure that way and allow Cernak to pick up the puck and carry it forward. Sometimes it's better to let your D do the work. So Evans takes that beautiful angle, turns the puck over. It's already heading to the back to Romanov. So Romanov has the puck here on the point. Is it Romanov? Is it Romanov? I know it's Romanov, but I just love getting the comments down below when you change a name mid-stride. So it's Romanov, Romanov. And the key to this goal, puck is at the top, is that the Montreal Canadiens continue skating through the sight line of Andre Vasilevskiy. He can see that the puck's up top right now, but because Romanov ends up holding it, waiting for the screen to come in front of the net. That's the key to a good defenseman. Wait for your screen to engage before you shoot. He ends up scoring top corner. So that shot just left, and you can see we have 1, 2, 3 screens, and that puck ends up beating Vasilevskiy. But he didn't shoot when the Tampa Bay screen ended up. He shot when his screen ends up getting in there. And so goal number 2 by the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Habs are up 2-1. Is the impossible going to happen? With 6 minutes left, what does Montreal manage to do? Turn over the puck at the blue line. How? How does a professional NHL team continue to make the same mistake game in and game out? And the worst part is they turn the puck over. They turn the puck over to a Tampa Bay Lightning who is on his butt. Let's go take a look. All right, so there you go. Puck's right here. All you got to do is dump this puck in. Really, really simple. We've talked about this so many times on this channel at this particular spot. Just dump it in. But he doesn't. Tampa Bay, he's already in the midst of falling down, and he wins this battle on his backside. There you go. Little stick push, and Toffoli loses the puck to a no-legged man. So out of the cluster comes Tampa Bay with the puck, and that leads to the 2-on-1 with Joseph and Maroon. Joseph just pushes it over to Maroon. Maroon ends up scoring. And frankly, the best 4th line in the NHL before this series was the Montreal Canadiens with Corey Perry, Eric Staal, and Joel Armia. But I'm telling you, Tyler Johnson, Maroon, and Joseph, they've been eating your lunch. This has been one of the best 4th lines I have ever watched. I don't know what happened to the Habs 4th line, but this is tough. And you can't let goals like this go in. But how about Patrick Maroon? Wherever he goes, he scores big time goals and wins Stanley Cups. He is on track for his 3rd in a row. All right, so then we know the Shea Weber high stick magic happens with a 4-minute penalty, 1 minute left in regulation, 3 minutes into overtime. We've already broken down the Habs penalty kill. It's more of the same. They load their 1-3 penalty kill. They defend it for 4 minutes. My goodness, they defend it for 4 minutes. There was a chance there. It was a 2-on-1 short. I thought Montreal was going to bury it. And as soon as Montreal didn't bury it, I had this feeling in my gut that when you don't bury things like this, it usually ends up the other way in the back of your net. Tampa Bay quickly transitions, putting it the other way. But Carey Price keeps it out, and that completely changes the game and opens the door for the Josh Anderson hero antics. All right, so here we go. Beautiful play by Josh Anderson, angling him out, looking for that puck, being able to cause this amazing play with him and Cole Caulfield. This is absolutely what the young guys needed, the wily veteran and grit of Josh Anderson. And this is a risky play because he's on the wrong side of the puck. He's not between the puck and his goalie, so this isn't a defense first play. But when you have an opportunity to turn a puck over and you know it can be yours, sometimes you got to take that chance, and it pays off big time for Josh Anderson. And then what we see happening here is a beautiful rub out by Rudy here as Josh Anderson is trying to drive to the net. But once again, when your feet are in a position like this is not a skating position. This is a gliding position. You don't want to be gliding into this. We gave Tampa Bay full marks for back checking the whole way, but unfortunately on this one, they don't. And because they don't get the chance to lift the stick of Cole Caulfield, who ends up giving it back to Josh Anderson, who scores. So that puck from Caulfield ends up pushing out as Anderson is laying on his backside and scores short. And I'm telling you right now, if somehow the Montreal Canadiens end up winning the Stanley Cup, that goal, that particular goal, and that picture of him on his backside scoring will be hung in the Hockey Hall of Fame. That will be the goal. Now, if the Habs don't win, it's probably not going to be remembered outside of Habs land. So it's a really cool goal, but you need to win the cup to make the shot become, well, the shot. Just ask Michael Jordan. So this has become a game of inches. This has become a game of turnovers. This has become a game of back checks. All in all, the truth of the matter is that Tampa Bay has played a better series than Montreal, but maybe the ghosts of the form are back, and maybe this is the team of destiny. Montreal, I know Tampa, you're going to go right away. It's going to be over in 5. You're probably right, but Montreal has basically broken every norm, every convention, and set records in this playoff run for things that should not happen. They've done it every series to every team. So who knows? We'll see you guys for game 5. We'll break down more. I'm super excited we get one more game. It's back in Tampa Bay with blistering hot weather. Go Habs, go Lightning, go hockey. This has been Coach Ryan D.